I won't say it's the best. I think it's the most consistent. That's something we've asked for right at the start of the series. Is you expected in these conditions to be on top of Sri Lanka at times, but for me it was making sure that 99% of the time we can string together consistent performances, and we've done that. I reckon out of the 13 days of Test cricket, we've been on top for 95% of the time. So extremely pleased with that we were consistent, bowling right through the series consistent, batting right through the series consistent, and also fielding is something that in Test cricket, perhaps sometimes people don't see the value of good fielding in Test cricket, but even in Australia there's been some match-changing moments in the field and once again in this series. So all round just an extremely consistent series.
I think I had a word with him in PE already about these green wickets, but we knew coming into this series we're gonna have green wickets to bat on, and as a player you just have to adapt to it, and we're all professionals, and that's just something that's another challenge of our job. It goes well or it doesn't, but it's all about contributing and all about trying to make the best play for your side, I guess, going forward. And fortunately it went well for quite a few of our batters, and personally it's my best series that I've had. So maybe I should bet more on green wickets or something like that. But yeah, it is what it is, and we knew coming into the series we're going to have those conditions.
Yeah, they've been exceptional right through the series. I think opening the batting in South Africa is the hardest place to open the batting. So for them to have done so well in this series, they must take a lot of credit. I suppose it doesn't help them that the captain just keeps asking for green wickets, but they've delivered. They've played really well, and I mean they put their hand up all the time. So every time that we've Newlands and here win the toss and bat first in every occasion, they've been exceptional. They've been really tight, and they've made sure they stick to the game plan, and to get hundreds like they've done through this series is really, really exceptional.
I think it's still very, very important to have those kind of established partnerships, whether you're a little bit conservative or a little bit aggressive up front. There will be a time where you're going to have to knuckle down and graft a little bit, and there's going to be a time where you might be scoring a little bit freely, and then you might be in the same mould as Dave. But he's a totally different cricketer to what myself and Cookie are, and I think what our team needs now currently is that. We need a little bit of mature heads and wiser cricketers at the top of the order, and it has taken a little bit of a while to gel. But as I mentioned earlier, we're not satisfied totally with what we've achieved in this series. We know going to New Zealand is going to be tough. Totally different conditions to what we have here. So it's good for our side, as I mentioned, and hopefully it continues to grow.
Yeah, I think it's great that they got wickets. For me, it was important to, especially in the first innings when we had them 6 down, I was hoping that they could string together 2 each, and luckily it worked like that, just to give them some confidence going into the second innings, because we know with KG and with Vern, they just at the moment extreme world-class bowlers. They're delivering every game, and they're very, very consistent, and they're relentless. So it's obviously now the plan is to try and make sure that our third seamer can get to that level, hopefully as quick as possible, in hitting areas consistently, making sure when you're not taking wickets, runs are not leaking too much. So both of them will say that they possibly leaked a little bit too much runs this game, but that they got wickets. So for me, it's you got to make sure you do one of both, and luckily they got wickets, both of them. So it's good to see. Duanne had some nice pace and aggression, which is something that's always important in a test bowling attack. And then Pani with his left arm offered some nice pace as well. It's been a big focus of our team for a while now to make sure that when guys come in that you make extra sure that they feel at home and extra sure that they fit right in. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to earn anything by doing anything, or like in old days when you have to pack bags for the senior players. I mean, they're as much part of anything, and they deserve their spot in our team and in our culture. So I think if you can get that right pretty much straight away, the guys feel accepted, and with that they have confidence. They have confidence to go out there and just do what they've been doing. So it's definitely something that we make sure we try and do as much as possible to make them fit in as quickly. Obviously the series possibly went a little bit easier than we thought it would go. But also in saying that, we knew that the wickets were going to be challenging for batters, and our batters just stepped up and batted really well. So yeah, it's possibly thought that the games would go a little bit longer and a little bit more competitive from their side. But we were just we stepped our game up and delivered in every area.